In this video, we are going to see the difference between hard water and soft water and their properties. So, what is hard water? Hard water is water that contains various salts of magnesium, calcium and sometimes even iron. Usually, it contains bicarbonates of magnesium and calcium. There are two types of hard water. If a water sample contains bicarbonates of magnesium and calcium, it is called temporary hardness, whereas water contains sulfates and chlorides of magnesium and calcium is termed permanent hardness. However, if water contains any of these ions in negligible quantities is called soft water. Okay, so, how to find out your water sample is hard water or soft water? To find that, we need to add sodium carbonate, washing soda, solution to each sample. You can also use aqueous ammonia or sodium hydroxide solution. After a few seconds, the solution on the left turns cloudy due to the precipitation of magnesium and calcium carbonates. So, it is hard water. However, the solution on the right remains clear, which indicates the absence of magnesium and calcium ions. So, it is soft water. My home tap water is hard water. So, whenever I prepare any alkaline solution for my experiments, it turns cloudy because of the precipitation of carbonates or hydroxides depending on what alkali solution I use. More than 85% American homes have hard water. I know the next question comes to your mind is it possible to convert hard water into soft water? Of course, it is feasible. Now we are going to see how to soften the water. The first method and widely observing one in your day-to-day life is boiling. Yes, by boiling the water you can precipitate out the insoluble magnesium and calcium carbonates. When boiling the hard water, the soluble bicarbonates of these ions lose some carbon dioxide and leave behind the insoluble carbonates. The same happens in your water tank during the summer season. However, it can be used only to remove temporary hardness, and also this is not a suitable method to perform on a large scale. Next, Clark's method. The temporary hardness of water can be removed by adding requisite quantity of calcium hydroxide. It converts soluble bicarbonates to insoluble carbonates, and the insoluble salts slowly settle down at the bottom and they can be removed by filtration. Now you can see the insoluble carbonates precipitated out along with little unreacted and insoluble calcium hydroxide, and these can be removed easily by simple filtration. Now we are going to test this filtrate by adding a little sodium carbonate or sodium hydroxide solution. Alright, seems the water sample contains both temporary hardness and permanent hardness, and it gives a white precipitate with alkali. Remember, this method is not recommended for drinking water or any other home purposes. Although, this method is to remove permanent hardness, the filtrate may contain little unreacted sodium carbonate or sodium hydroxide which are corrosive to skin. I'm just showing you how it works. Also, there are other more efficient methods employed to remove hardness of water like permutate process, Calgon process, ion exchange resins process, etc. As it gives precipitate with the filtrate, we need to filter it again. Now checking the refiltered solution, and it gives precipitate with alkali again. This should be repeated until it gives no precipitate with alkalis. Alright, again we are filtering the solution. Okay, done. Let's see whether this one give any precipitate. Okay, fine, water remains clear even after we added the alkali. So, the water sample has been softened successfully.